Yes, this is Kid Broly, and yeah, I'm doing part 2 to Left deku Water Quirk. So yeah, let's begin. Okay, let's see. Yeah, where we're going to begin. Let's see. Deku. Oh, if I remember correctly, Deku is basically just what was it? Oh, right. Deku basically just locked up the sludge villain in All Might's pocket. Yeah, I was trying to go fast for a second for a recap. Sorry, guys. But yeah. Let's see. Deku's pretty much just going to... Well, he's just going to be going home afterwards. He's not going to ask All Might a question or anything. Even though he has such a dangerous quirk. I mean, theoretically, he can boil someone's blood until their brain is fried. So, yeah. Decky's pretty much just going to, this is the real deciding factor for me. Should I let him go down the path of villainy, which he would be amazing at, or should I let him go down the path of herodom? Yeah, freak. Okay, this one is going to be what if Deku is a villain part 2. So, yeah. Basically, that last episode is a branch off of one. What's the best comparison? Well, a tree, for example. Basically, a tree branch, how it branches off. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling. But, yeah. Let's continue. Deku is pretty much just going to have a lot of darkness in his heart. Because people were thinking that he was weak for so long. And then one day, he snapped. And he snapped into he just snapped. He decided that people that think he's weak are weak themselves. And he pretty much just snaps, he pretty much just goes into one of their bodies and suffocates them. One of the people that believe he's weak. Then he goes into their bloodstream and tries to putting it all the blood into their lungs and stuff like that to make people believe that this person had internal bleeding and didn't realize it. And it ended up filling the lungs, so he couldn't breathe. And the next day, there was a squad of police knocking on his front door, so he decided to run away. He flushed himself down the sewer or toilet into the sewers. And this is all happening after the sludge villain, to let you know. And, Deku's basically just going to, meet someone named Zoe on the other end of the pipe. He's just going to be wondering where that pipe's going to go and how long until he could leave. And then he meets Zoe. She's a pretty girl with the light blue hair. She has freckles just like Deku. And a tank top on and a ring on her left hand. She has long, wavy hair, just like water. And he finds something attractive about her. You can't see what ship I'm doing? Then you don't know what my original character and how often I ship them. Like, seriously, I ship my original character with Deku a lot. For some reason. But yeah, Deku is basically just going to be wondering who she is. He's basically going to ask for her name. She's going to ask for his in return. They say 3, 2, 1, go. Zoe says her name first, and Deku says his name. They basically start getting it off, and Zoe asks why he was in the sewers in the first place. Deku says, "You do not need to know that," with a menacing glare. And Zoe basically does a even more menacing glare, with a lot of bloodlust in her eyes. So, yeah. Pretty much, Deku is going to be overcome with her bloodlust and ask if she's a villain. She's, of course, going to say, I'm sort of. I'm not in the field right now. Basically, with a grin on her face and a little pocket knife in her hand. Basically thinking to herself, how did he realize it that quickly? And basically, yeah, she basically says, I know what you did. And basically asks, do you want to join my group? Because we're both villains after all. And safety in numbers. So, yeah, that's basically what Zoe will say. And Deku basically would say, sure, whatever. Anything to get the popo off my back or something like that. I don't know what people call the cops besides cops, you know? But yeah. They're basically going to go to a bar run by a guy named Kane. It's called Kane's Family Diner or something like that. It's going to be, basically a sports bar or something like that. Basically, families can dine there, and yeah, basically family diner. So yeah, I could probably make a whole list of food items for that place, but yeah, not thinking about that right now. So yeah, Deku basically is asking, why are we here? And Zoe basically says, well, this is set the HQ after all. And he says, this is HQ? Basically, yeah, holding his hand in front of it. And holding his hand beside the abandoned building across the street. It's basically like an abandoned house. So yeah, they're in a pretty good area of town too. So yeah. Deku basically is just curious why she brought him here, even though she did say to him that this is the, HQ. So they basically go in. It's a pretty nice place with let's see. It's a pretty nice place. There's tables with these unique designs on them. Basically, it's a pretty nice. It's basically a Western-styled restaurant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Western, but yeah. It's basically a place that you would want to go to take your family. And basically Zoe says, you'll have to work here if you're going to join our group. And Becky says, sure, whatever, I'm doing nothing. And basically Zoe rings a bell or calls someone, I don't know, either or. I'm going to say ring a bell. And yeah, the owner of the family diner would say, we're closed. So either get out or I'll throw you out. Basically, with a evil grin. I mean, not grin, but evil scowl. Sorry. But yeah. And he says, "Oh, Zoe, you're here. And you brought a friend. What a surprise." So is he joining our group? And he does, uh, in a quote, symbols. And she says, yeah. And he says, let's get formalities out of the way. I'm Kane, you're going to work here as a busboy. And Deku basically says, hey, I'm Deku. And he asks Quirk, what? And Deku says, pure water. He asks what the quirk does, and Deku says, well, my entire body's made of water. I can turn it into ice, basically turning his entire right arm into ice, turn it into gas, turning his entire right arm into gas, but a visible gas, and turning his arm into water. But it just looks like skin. So, yeah. And he basically asks, what else can you do with your quirk? Deku says, I can manipulate water. Basically, he gets a lot of water vapor out of the air and just starts moving it around like into an infinity sign. So, yeah. I am really going with the details today, aren't I? Well, to give you a picture at least. And he says, oh, that's nice. And Deku asks, what's your quirk, Kane? And Kane basically says, fire. And he basically puts fire into his on the end of his finger, and basically starts shaping it into these little, horses and stuff like that, riding into the air. So, yeah. I feel like he would be into a lot of old Western stuff, so, yeah. But, yeah. I just have a feeling like that. Like, All Might's themed around the U.S., why can't there be a villain themed around the U.S., too? So, yeah. Wow, it's already been 12 minutes. Time goes by, especially when you have your eyes closed. But yeah, sorry to just, go off. So, yeah, basically, yeah, he'll say, do you have a room? And Deku would say, nope, nowhere to stay. And Kane basically says, follow me, sighing, and just leads him to the back and shows Deku an apartment type area where there's obviously five other people living there, and basically say there's five other people living here besides me and Zoe, and you're basically just going to sleep on the couch until we can get your room made. Yeah, I'm probably just going to be flashing out their characters more in this. I mean, I already have a not Deku, but my villains' backstories on my channel. So, yeah, I already have those. But, yeah, pretty much Deku is going to say, nice place. And he says, at least I have a TV. Because there's obviously going to be a TV in the living room. It's basically like an apartment type thing. Like, there's like 7 rooms upstairs. And, I mean, like 5 rooms upstairs, 2 rooms downstairs, a kitchen, 3 bathrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 for upstairs and 1 for downstairs. Yeah, I'm just trying to come up with floor planning. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't need to bore you with the details anymore. And Deku pretty much just going to jump up onto the couch and say, okay, and just, well, basically, yeah, ask who are the other people that live here. And I need to get my list real quick. Kane says you'll meet them in the morning. And Deku, and basically Zoe says, here you go. Here's a pillow and a blanket. And Deku says, I don't need the blanket. And basically just shows her again that he can actually turn into gas. So technically he doesn't even need a bed. And Kane says, oh good, we don't have to get you a bed then. And basically, yeah, just says, so, what, if you need anything, just be quiet. I feel like he would be, one of those rude guys that if he wasn't really in the mood, for anything, But yeah, Deku pretty much falls asleep in his gastric form. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gastric. And morning already came. Basically, yeah, Kane says, so, up and at 'em, guys, basically ringing a bell. And, yeah. Essentially, Deku, who is still waking up, he's groggy, but he's still in his gastric form. So he's pretty much invisible to the naked eye. But yeah. And, basically, yeah, the first one to come down is Zoe and Kane. Since, Zoe is basically his adopted daughter, if you don't remember. But yeah, he's basically in a better mood today. Essentially, he just is saying, the morning's young, or something like, the day's young, let's get off to work. And yeah, basically the next person that's coming down the stairs, yawning, says, boss, why did you have to wake us up this early? You usually sleep until noon. And King basically says, well, we have a new member. And Lee basically says, oh, we have a new member? Where are they? And King basically says, I don't know, they're probably somewhere. And the next person to come down is like halfway down the stairs hearing this, is Blaze, saying, boss, we have a new member? We have a new member? Or something like that. Yeah, basically clapping. I feel like he's an energetic type. And then the next person, Blaze's sister, Deanna, hears this and saying, oh, neat, we have a new member. Basically all relaxed. And just yawning. So, yeah. And then they basically just come downstairs and sit on the couch. And then Jasmine starts coming down, and she basically says, oh, we have a new member, sweetie? Or something like that. Basically, yeah, she says that to anyone. Basically, she has a flirtation personality. And Trent basically hears this and basically says, we have a new member. And basically, there's a lightning storm in the place. And he's saying, at least I'll have something someone to push around. And, well, And they basically all just sit on the couch, just waiting for the new member. And the Kane basically says, where did he go? He was supposed to sleep on the couch. Ugh, this is such an annoyance. Then he basically just bangs a pot and pan together in the air, just in case. And Deku basically just wakes up and falls out of the air. Basically, saying, ugh, why did you have to wake me up like that? And he's basically, rubbing his head. And all of them say, this is the new member? What is this quirk? Can he only turn into air? And Blaze explains his quirk. His quirk is essentially, the exact opposite of mine in certain qualities. He has water. He's made entirely out of water. He can turn himself into ice, and he basically shows them he can turn himself into water, and basically shows them that, and extends his arm out way like a whip, and he also can turn himself into gas. But do you want to know the really unfair part? And they all say, what? He also can control water. And Deku basically starts making an infinity sign in the air out of water, and just basically makes an exact copy of what King did yesterday, and make horses riding in the air. And they're all saying, he's basically the opposite of you. He's basically your weakness, isn't he? And he'll say, yeah. And they basically say, okay, we have a ritual that we have the noobs go through, and they all start smiling menacingly. This is going to be the end of my part. I did not realize I went on for this long. Sorry guys if this is a longer video. But I got way too in-depth. So sorry again. But see you guys later, and peace.